Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely world of raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, you guys, we are going to be doing something not involving Baron Sarome's temple, pyramid, my bad. I'm so used to saying temple, and that's not the right term. We are not going to be doing any work in or around Baron Sarome's pyramid, and that is because all we gotta really do is work on the interior part and basically set up the chambers in which the kings and their families will be buried in. But I'm still working in a private, not a private. I'm still working in a single player creative world. How I want that to look, because I want it to look good. I don't want to just say here's a room and then come back later on in the video and say, so this is what we did, because we do that a lot, and I don't want to make that a habit. I want to really, now that I have the time to sit down and play the game and plan out what I want to do, how I want to do it, and such, I really want that to be shown and evident in these videos and in the third world download when that comes out. What? Oh, you're right there. I have so many wolves in this area. It's ridiculous. Granted, the attack puppies shall always be loved and treasured. There's like a lot of them over here. So anywho, what we got going on right here is I started to work on little ponds that had life growing from them, because like I said in the previous video, when we were why is my mouse acting up? Like I said in the previous video, when we were going over what the ancient Mayan pyramids were for and what type of afterlife and other types of beliefs the Mayans believed in, if you weren't of royalty or of wealth and power, then you would most likely be cremated, and your ashes would be put into a urn, and then it would be taken somewhere and tossed back into the world, if that makes any sense, where basically it was thought that your ashes, where they landed, would sprout life. And because this is going to be a pyramid that is a burial site for Baron Sarome, a Mayan king who died in war, all of his servants, shall we say, and his farmers will be buried. Oh, there goes my mouse again. His servants and farmers shall be buried around the pyramid, just so that they could, in the afterlife. Oh, I thought I heard something behind me. Just so that in the afterlife, they could continue to serve him. And I think so far it's looking okay. My one concern is that I think there's too much wheat. I wanted to add some diversity into the crops that we have growing. I will be taking bone meal and running around and bone mealing the place. And this is really loud in my ears. Let's go ahead and just turn. Oh, no wonder it's loud in my ears. It's at 100. Let's go ahead and put it at our normal 60, because for me at least, that seems to be a good volume for it to be at. So, like I was saying, I will be taking bone meal and just running around the place. Now, I know I said that I wanted to take custom trees and put them all throughout this area, sort of to get that canopy look that resembles what the dark oak forest biomes, whatever it's properly called, to resemble that. But custom trees takes a lot of work, and I don't want to really put too much more time into this project, because I don't want this to become an ongoing small project to the point where we just start to get lazy with our work, because we are not lazy people, the world of Raccoon. No, we're not. So anywho, in this episode, we are going to actually be constructing an ancient Mayan sports arena. Now, for those of you who may be familiar with an old Disney, with an old Disney animated movie called The Road to El Dorado, they sort of touched on that a little bit in that movie in regards to like what this sport that the Mayans played, like what it looked like. It's called the ball game, like as far as I'm aware, from what my research has come up with, it was just called ball game or the ball game. And basically, what it was you could either have two solid walls going straight up. Let's actually go ahead and get some blocks for demonstrational purposes. Okay, so you could either have like two walls going straight up like this, and then you would have a short amount of space, but nothing too short where it was compact in it. But you would have a short amount of space and have a secondary wall going either straight up or what you actually, wait a minute, this is Minecraft 1.9. What am I doing? Dual building, I love you ever so much. Or what you could do is you could have a wall going straight up and then sort of have this acute angle going down towards the ground, but it would not touch all the way. You would eventually have a little stoop, shall we call it, that is where you would have to climb up and then run at an angle, and you would have the same thing going on over here. So let's just go ahead, and get that going. But what you had to do was you had to take a small ball that was about the size, I guess you could say, of a soccer ball, maybe a bit smaller. And the goal was, without letting it touch the ground and without using your hands, you had to take the ball and get it to go through a loop or a ring that was in the wall on the inside part, not the outside. And because this was such a challenging feat to achieve, mainly the game would be over when one team would just score a single point. That's how long it took. And while this sport was going on, while the game was going on, they would have, say, religious songs playing. It was sort of considered, it was like a way of competing in war, but without the bloodshed. However, this is where the little twisted fun fact comes into play for you guys, all right? The winning team would be celebrated. There would be a massive feast in their honor. They would be given, like, for example, like great, not treasures and gems and jewels and such, but they would be celebrated. However, the losing team, well, let's just say you wanted to play to win, or you did not play at all, because the losing team most likely was killed. And as we talked about in our previous episode, well, in a couple episodes back, actually, because the Mayan culture was a very, they had rituals for a lot of stuff. They had rituals for a rain god. They had rituals for a harvest god or god of harvest, whichever is the proper way to word that. But they performed a ton of rituals for various things. And yes, you could make certain offerings of like treasures, jewels, whatnot. But the most quote unquote holiest of sacrifices you can make was blood, a living creature. And there is a difference between sacrificing involving just blood and then actually like taking the life of a living creature, which that living creature, if it were human, would be grateful to be sacrificed because they considered it a high honor in that culture. But because blood and sometimes one's life to be sacrificed for a god was considered a huge thing, the losing team, even though they lost and they were pretty much like, well, this is bummer, we're gonna die, they at least put a positive twist on it and said, well, you know what, we did our best in the game, and even though we lost and we sort of maybe brought a little humility to our families, we at least get to be offered as a sacrifice to the god of rain to end this drought that's been having a negative impact on our so far prosperous year of harvest. And so, yeah, it sort of was all connected to one another. So I spent a lot of time last night mining up the cobble, and I think I have a fair amount. I don't know if I have enough, to be honest with you guys, because building with cobblestone and then sometimes smelting cobblestone into stone to then transfer into stone bricks, you never really know how much cobble you need. And sometimes I wish I had my silk touch pick, but alas, I lost it in the ender dragon fight. the second one. Well, actually, both Ender Dragon fights, I lost the second. I lost a Silk Touch pickaxe. So, anywho, I'm gonna get to work constructing this ancient Mayan sports arena, and I'll see you guys when it's either fully complete or we've got a little progress update and I got a little fun fact to share with you guys. Alright, so we're back because we're gonna kill this slime. Yes. Well, yes and no, actually. Geez, bouncing much? Oh, geez, look at all those little slimes. Thank goodness we got looting on this sword. Have at thee. Matey? I don't know why I tried to speak pirate there. I haven't even been watching Pirates of the Caribbean, so that was just completely random. Anywho, you guys. Alright. Oh, look at that. We got 34 slime balls. There we go. Okay. So, this is basically what our Mayan sports arena is going to look like. It's not really large in size, but the thing is, do we have... Yes, we do. Okay, good. We can actually sort of make something that could resemble a hoop, shall we call it, in Minecraft at the least, or a ring, whichever you prefer. And bada bing. Oops. Oops. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada boom, boom, boom. So basically what you had to do was, much like how today's American soccer is played, you basically you can't touch the ball with your hands, and you have to like you start off oh geez, these guys are so annoying. Get out of here. Okay. So you basically start off here in the middle of the court, and then what you have to do is, without touching the ball with your hands, you have to climb up on the ledge with the ball in the air or whatever, passing it from one team member to another, and you have to score it into the hoop. And like I said, because this was a very time-consuming feat to accomplish, just by scoring one goal, your team would win, and the other team would, shall we say. But while I was constructing this in a creative let's build world that I have, I thought to myself, you know what? You know, when you look at ancient Mayan ruins, you tend to see that they have, well, at least in Hollywood, you know, the movies, the television shows, and such, you know, ancient ruins tend to be booby-trapped, okay? They tend to have, like, little... If you step on a certain stone or a certain piece of pebble that gets unturned, then suddenly a trap like unfolds, or even something as simple as a secret room is exposed. And that's what I'm trying to do here in this ancient Mayan city, is where, not with every single structure that we erect, but at least for some pretty convenient looking spots, we can have little secret passageways or secret storage rooms where hidden gems that the farmers or even the peasants may have stolen from their kings and brought back home to their family, but were soon found out, and aside from, you know, being put to death for it, they at least got a chance to hide it somewhere within the city. So I think what I may try to do, aside from finishing up this little ancient Mayan sports arena, is most likely in this one right here, because I already got the ground torn up and such. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like make this a little secret chamber. And we're not going to have much fancy stuff. Oh wait, there we go. We're not going to have that much fancy stuff going on, like blocks of gold and blocks of diamonds and blocks of emeralds and such. But we're just going to have, like, I guess what we could do is sort of place chests. And as I'm sharing this idea with you guys and building on camera, which I'm trying to do more of so I can get better at it for you guys, is I'm thinking of just letting this be a place to store food. Because, well, I mean, if you really want to think about it, okay, if you were like trying to steal from if you were trying to steal from a king or some family that was wealthy and powerful, obviously they're not gonna have their treasured possessions out there in the open that anyone working within their city state could take from them. So it could just be something as simple as food, like bread or beetroots. There we go. We don't have much of them, so we can try and get a farm going of beetroot and then store them inside of here. I like that idea. All right. I wanted to just come back and at least share with you guys the progress along with the epic battle with the slime, and just run past you guys some things that I've been thinking about in regards to what we can do from this ancient Mayan sports arena. Aside from it just being that. So, let me go ahead and finish this up, and I'll see you guys when we're ready to close the video. So for those of you who may be new to the channel or may not have been around lately and don't know why I start off these Let's Play videos by standing still in one spot and letting 15 seconds pass before I go ahead and begin my intro line, it's because, well, for one, I am not a fan of intros for YouTube videos. To me, I don't understand what purpose they serve. And to be honest with you guys, they're kind of annoying because there's some people I think can have pretty good. Here we go. This is what we want. Some people can have good YouTube intros. There we go. I was about to say YouTube intro videos, but that's not it. But some people's intros to their YouTube videos can be cool. Some of them can be fancy, but for the most part, I see them as unnecessary things. And a wise watermelon once said to me, "Just because you can, why?" Or something along those lines. He said, "We can, but why?" For those of you who are, if that jogs a memory or something, that's actually a reference to when Nobody's LP and I did a UHC collab together about a month ago, I guess you could say now. And in the UHC, I had said something along like, "We can do this, we can do that." And he said, "We could, but why?" But anywho, that's just my quick little take. Because some people on the side ask, "What is on fire over there?" Oh, hello there. Okay, then. Burn to a crisp, why don't you? Some people on the side ask me like, "Hey, V, hey, Vanel, hey, Van, why do you stand still for like a short amount of time in the beginning of your videos before you open up with your intro line?" And yeah, there you go. So anywho, you guys, this is pretty much going to do it. Now, I may have tweeted about this. I may have actually spoken about this in a previous video, but just to clarify it so that I can have it on the record for my own bookings, I don't really want to start placing trees down in this area, in this project area, until we are in what I would call the detailing phase. And what that pretty much means is the building phase is done, it's accomplished, and just to finish up the build, or in this case the project, it's just the minor aesthetic detailing. So this can look more pleasing to the eye than what's already established, if that makes any sense. One thing I did do here was just to give this that ancient ruin look, is taking use of the new feature from a shovel, where if you right click a grass block, you get a little path block, and I think that's pretty cool. I wanted to kind of go crazy with the different wear and tear type of designs we could go for, but then I started to think that would be overdoing it, and I like to keep things simple. If I can be content with it, that's good. But when I can take a step back and say, "You know what, that looks pretty cool, but it's simply made," then that's when I would consider it great work. And like I said, I don't want to spend too much time in this area where I start to focus on every small little detail of things that don't really need that much attention paid to it, because then you can get lazy, in my opinion at least. And once you get lazy, you become more content with the work that you do, and it's maybe not so great. But anywho, I want to start planting trees down in this area because who'll make noise? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. If you remember in the beginning of this video, we had an open space right here, and I covered it up with dirt, and I think we are hearing, yep, there they are. Hello. Okay, Take him by surprise. Come in like a wrecking ball. There we go. Yeah, I just filled up the open space here with dirt and eventually became grass. I completely forgot about that. I may light that up. I don't know yet. I'm not gonna fill it up though, because that's gonna be too much work. But I want us to start planting trees down, because for the most part in this area, it's done. It's ready to be walked away from. And I don't really want to spend too much time working on Minecraft custom trees, because that's a very, in my opinion, if you're new to it like I am, it can be a very time-consuming thing. And I'm not trying to rush this, because, you know, if you want something great, you can't rush art. But I kind of want to get the ball rolling in regards to finishing this up. I don't know how many times I can say that now. Jeez, starting to sound like a broken record. But anywho, you guys, this is pretty much it. This is our little ancient Mayan sports arena where they would play the ball game. That sounds so weird. It kind of makes me think of American baseball. But anywho, what I did in here was I took what are you exactly? I took the granite, because this is a block that I don't really see featured or at least used in builds, and I would like to begin to work with this block just to challenge myself to see how I can incorporate this into builds, and eventually down the line let this be the primary resource for a build. But anywho, we got little furnaces just for the whatever purpose we can think of for the lore of this ancient Maya city-state. But like I said, we'll harvest quite a lot of beetroot. I'll probably do that off camera, and then just store it all in here, so that way we can say, hey, if we need some Minecraft 1.9 resources, come over here. Although most likely that would be, I guess, the chorus fruit and the beetroot. But anywho, you guys, unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for today. I gotta tell you guys, I really am starting to get more and more, not just into the idea of getting to know more about my culture and share it with you guys here in these Minecraft videos, and let alone make a city based off of my culture. But I'm getting more excited, if that makes any sense to you guys. Last night was the night where we switch our clocks an hour forward, and granted, that did mess up my sleep schedule just a tad little bit. I couldn't help but toss and turn in bed and think to myself, oh, in tomorrow's video, we're going to be making an ancient Mayan sports arena. How is it going to look? What dimensions are we going to go by? And that's what I really... that feeling of excitement for a new video, to make a new video, to plan out a video, is what I truly missed. But now that I'm not live streaming, for now at least, I can get back into being excited to make these videos for you guys. So, to those of you who are worried or concerned, or maybe starting to think that Minecraft is slowly disappearing from the channel, I say to you, no. Okay. So, like I was saying, that is unfortunately all the time that I have for today. So, if you like what you see, then please give that like button a hug and subscribe for the latest buzz. And if you had a blast with a good laugh, then make sure you favorite this video and share it with a friend or two. But until next time, peeps, this is Vanillaraccoon. Peace out.